Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I just want to share with you guys how my husband and I were able to essentially cut our cell phone bill in half. A lot of you guys asked me about that, and I figured I would go ahead and provide that information. So if you're interested in hearing about that, then please keep watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to like June 2017. That is when we started our financial freedom journey. We were paying a pretty penny for our cell phone bill because we had 2 smartphones and we also had 2 installment plans. So essentially we were paying on our phones. Not the best decision ever. I never made that decision, I would like to think. And we had 2 smartphones, 2 iPhones, so we had to have, well, we didn't have to have data plans, but obviously, like, who has a smartphone without a data plan? So we did have data plans. So our bill was like $200, which now I can't even fathom paying $200 for a cell phone bill. So we had to quickly figure out how we were going to decrease the cell phone bill. Now, I'm going to be doing a video about how we have decreased almost all of our expenses, or the ones that we were willing to decrease, but I do want to talk about today one of the easiest ways to decrease expenses, especially when you're trying to save more or pay down debt or whatever the case is. So again, we were paying $200, nearly $200 for our cell phone. That was a bit much. So we decided that we would figure out how we could cut that in half. And so for us, we had AT&T postpaid. It was just super easy to switch to AT&T prepaid because AT&T prepaid was like under AT&T postpaid. So basically, the first thing that we had to do was pay off our cell phone. So together we only owed like $150. We were pretty much at the end of the term or end of the installment plan. So we just paid off our cell phones, which that's pretty much the first thing you're going to have to do. You're not going to be able to go anywhere until you pay off your cell phone bill or, the installment plans. So that's the first thing that we did. I have notes here because I did not come to play. So we paid off our cell phone bills. Then we actually, just to be on the safe side, because we didn't know actually at the time whether we were going to go with AT&T prepaid or like Boost Mobile, Cricket Wireless, one of those other providers, we actually requested that AT&T unlock our cell phones, and so that is what we did. And the reason why you're going to want to do that is because in doing so, it pretty much opens up doors. So if you have an unlocked phone, you can pretty much use your phone with any carrier. So that is why we went ahead and did that. The thing that I would recommend for you guys, even though for us it was pretty simple, one thing that I would recommend is to try to find the prepaid version of your current plan. So for us, AT&T prepaid was the prepaid version. And that's because if you already have, let's say you have AT&T postpaid and you're getting good reception and you enjoy their service or whatever the case is, chances are you're going to get the exact same reception with the prepaid version. You're going to get the same, obviously not exactly the same features and stuff, because obviously you're going to be paying less, so they're going to be cutting you a little bit short. But for the most part, it's not going to be that big of a difference. And I'm going to share with you guys my experience, or our experience with AT&T prepaid after a year. Another thing that I'm going to recommend is also to go ahead and look up the pros and the cons of switching. For us, the only thing that I could find that might deter someone is that AT&T prepaid allegedly has like worse customer service. I wouldn't know. I've never called them. I didn't really call AT&T customer service when we had AT&T postpaid, so I really wouldn't know whether or not the customer service is subpar. There was another thing. Another thing is, this is legit. Whenever we are like using our data plans or on data, we are on LTE, which is like the fastest at this point, because we've upgraded from 3G and 4G or whatever the case is. So that we are on data when we are on LTE when we use data, but whenever we make phone calls, it actually switches to 4G. However, that doesn't really affect us. It's not like I've had a dropped call because of it. It's really not that big of a deal personally. I really don't even talk on the phone, so it doesn't really much matter to me. But that is one of the things that I read about. So definitely go ahead and look up the pros and cons to doing so. to us, the pros outweighed the cons. So after you've weighed your pros and cons, or after we weighed our pros and cons, the next thing that we did is we pretty much moved forward. So I know this probably seems like, why wouldn't you weigh your pros and your cons first? But again, we were already switching, so it really didn't matter who we were switching to. Essentially, we were going to switch because we weren't going to keep paying a $200 cell phone bill. So after we weighed our pros and our cons, we actually went ahead and called AT&T, and we initiated the change over the phone. My husband was able to keep his cell phone number, the same cell phone number he's had forever. I was not able to keep mine for some like super odd reason. I don't even remember what it was. It was something like, because I had gotten the number in an area, like outside of the area that I currently live in, I wasn't able to switch over my phone number. I don't even remember what they said about that. It really didn't even make sense to me. I didn't really care. So I just went ahead and got a new cell phone number because I don't give my number out. Nobody calls me anyway, so it really didn't matter. But chances are you would be able to switch yours. Mine was super weird. I don't even know. I still don't understand to this day what they were talking about. But we went ahead and we called AT&T. We initiated the change over the phone. It literally takes 3 seconds. They are going to go ahead and cut off your postpaid and switch you to prepaid. Another thing that I want to mention is that your bill has to be current. I feel like I just assume most people's cell phone bills are current. So your cell phone bill does have to be paid up. Like, you can't owe any money. They're not going to do any of these things that I just talked about if you owe on your cell phone bill. So assuming that you're current and you have a zero balance, you will be able to do all of these things without any issue. So I forgot to mention that. But they initiated the change over the phone, and then we went ahead and logged on to our new AT&T prepaid. It was AT&T Go Phone at the time. Now they call it AT&T prepaid. But we went ahead, we logged on to our account. We created an account. We logged on. We paid for our first month's bill because it's prepaid. So you're not going to be able to, you know, talk and text and then pay your bill. You have to pay your bill ahead of time. So we had to pay our first month's bill, and then that was pretty much it. They did tell us that we would receive our last bill from our postpaid service because it's postpaid, and so we got that whenever it typically came due. I think it was always due on like the 26th of the month. So it came to us on the 26th of the month. We had to pay that, which was $150-ish because we had already paid off our cell phones. So had we stayed, we would have been paying $150. That's why I say we technically have cut it in half, but it depends on if you're including the installment plan or if you're not. So we went ahead and paid that last month's bill with the postpaid plan, and then we were free. So we had been free for like 13 months, and we just pay for our bill every month. They take it out automatically on like the 27th of the month or every 30 days. My husband has I think he has like 8 gigabytes of data, unlimited talk, unlimited text. The high-speed data does roll over, but I don't have that luxury because I normally use all of my data, which is why for the month of September I am switching to unlimited, but it's really not going to be that big of a deal because our bill is only going to go up $15. So we were paying $70.75. Now we're going to be paying, well, for the month of September anyway, we're going to pay $85.75. So really not that big of a difference. He'll probably never need to get unlimited data because he doesn't really use his phone outside of home or outside of places where we have Wi-Fi. I don't really understand how I go over mine, honestly, but I would say because I do a lot of traveling and I have to use my GPS, I would say that's pretty much the only reason why I go over, because I'm always at work or home or like Starbucks or somewhere like that where they have Wi-Fi. So I don't really understand why I'm going over, but that's neither here nor there because I'm just going to pay the $15 extra to have unlimited. So that's pretty much the whole process. I don't think that I'm leaving anything out. If I am, don't hesitate to ask me a question or leave a question down below in the comment section. But I think that's pretty much it. I mean, the thing to remember is to pay off your phone if you are under an installment plan. Make sure your bill is current. Go ahead and try to get your phone unlocked just to be safe. And honestly, if you're going to be leaving one provider, and they're the one of the people who can unlock your phone legally, just go ahead and have them unlock it anyway. I think it's just a good idea, no matter if, I think it's a good idea no matter if you're switching or if you're not switching, to go ahead and have your phone unlocked. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it was a super simple process. I know it sounds scary for some people. I don't know what it is with people with like postpaid plans. I think they're just afraid that if they switch to like Cricket or Boost Mobile or Virgin Mobile or something like that, that they're going to have subpar service, and everything's probably not going to be as kosher as it is with a postpaid plan, but it's really not that bad. So anyway, that's just how I feel about it, and that's just a way that we were able to cut our cell phone bill in half. So anyway, if you have a question, leave it down below in the comment section. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.